I'm going to take this out. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay, all right. So okay. This is what I'm going to say it again. I spent 2 minutes, but that's okay. Let me repeat this 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, today the purpose is basically walk you through on structured query language, SQLITE database engine. Also, assignment 2, walk you through assignment 2 and exercise number 3. Exercise number 3 is due on Friday, which is 27th, and assignment 2, exercise 3 is due on 27th Friday. Assignment 2 is due on 29th Sunday. Okay. I know many of you probably know SQL language, but the purpose here is really to connect three things. That is, three things. One is Python language. The other one is SQLITE database engine. Third one is SQL language. Okay. So that is our purpose, and this is what I'm going to cover. Let me see. I'm sharing my screen or not. Maybe I've got to be careful about these things. Okay, click here. So now I'm sharing my screen also. So in addition to this, if you have any questions, I will answer. Okay, that's the purpose of this officer. How does that sound? That's what I was asking. Respond to me. Okay, Jeff says good. Albert says good, and Masa, I think you will say good, hopefully. Okay. Hi, Masa. Okay, thank you. Let's go. So you are seeing my screen now, am I right? Just to say yes or no on that one. You're seeing my screen where I have this first slide. Okay, I'll quickly walk you through this and then hone in on the details about the assignment 2 and exercise 3. Okay. All right. Good. Okay. Excellent. Let me go there. Okay. So I'm not going to be very academic, details, going a lot of details, because I'm going to distribute this also. I shared this one last time with you, okay? The UML part of it, or the relations part of it, is the ER diagram part of it, is the conceptual, right? That is the conceptual data model, okay? UML and the ER diagram, relations, all those things are the conceptual model. Then comes, I want to repeat this, who knows, there might be a question in the exam. Then the logical data model is really about relations, and also talk about the keys, what is the primary key, alternate key, all those things. And on the other hand, the implementation model refers to the metadata details, detail enough where we can utilize the SQLs, and we understand the tables very well, and we can utilize the SQL. That is called the implementation model. Okay, you understand that part. Let's go to the so SQL is basically similar to what you do in the internet or Google. Okay, but there you may not realize that whatever you are throwing in is constructed as a SQL in the backend by the Google engine. Okay, so what we will be following is what is called the ISO IEC standards. I think, yeah, ISO IEC 9075-11-2011 update. Okay, on regarding SQL language. That's what we'll be following for the department. Okay, so SQL is basically it's a combination of two things. One is define the data structure, and then extract, output, create report. Define is the first part of it. Second part of it is creating reports. So the defining the data and loading the data is the first part, but that is what we have it in the. If you look at this one, this is the assignment 2. How to load the data into the database using SQL structure. So this is load rows into db.sql. Okay, there are two files. Okay, let me share with you the two files. So this is assignment 2. I will mix and match, so don't worry about it. Don't get confused. If you do, talk to me. So build the database part of it, and then the the extraction, data extraction part of it. Okay, there are two parts, right? Building the database. Also, you will use SQL type language, and the second part is extracting that into reports, where you will use again SQL type, and that's the second part of it. Okay. So here is, for example, I downloaded both the files, 420 assignment 2 files. So you see this one is load rows into DB. That is just creating the data, okay? Creating the data into the database. That's what load part of it, okay? And also the build part of it, that's what you are creating the tables, schema, and create index and inserting data, and a little bit of select star, which means select all from product. Product is the table, and update the product table, things like that. Okay, so these things are given to you in two different files as part of your assignment 2. Now I'm kind of a little bit getting ahead, but let me come back here to the presentation. SQL consists of basically very simple, straightforward, English words connecting different tables and conditions. Okay, so what are the key words? Create table is a keyword, phrase. Insert into, select from, where condition. Okay, and having also, there is one more condition. We'll talk about that. Here is all you have. Select distinct or all. Okay, star means all. Column expression, as new name. Column expression, whatever you want to compute as new name. Compute using various columns, and then give them some names, and you can repeat like that. And then from the table, a table is the relationship. We talked about in the previous assignment. A table is the one where you store data of a certain very specific type. From a particular table, either select all or distinct rows only, and select very specific columns or all, right? I said, when you put star or all, you're talking about all the columns. This is all the, these are conditional on the rows, right? All or distinct rows. And then star refers to the columns. From the table name, where condition is, there is a condition, you have a subset condition, and then you can output the results by grouping. By what, right? Group by some column and having some condition on the variables, and we can order the output by some column. So these are the key phrases that you'll be using. Select, from, where, group by. All right. For example, here if you look at it, create, please mute out if you don't, if it is going to interfere with some recording. Create table from, basically you're talking about the staff is the table name. Okay, you are creating the table staff. This is just, I already explained this one. So let's go back to some real example here. Okay. So in terms of explaining those, describing those statements from specific tables, where filters, where condition filters rows, group by forms groups of rows with same column value, okay, same column value, having filters groups subject to some condition, and select specifies which columns are to appear, and then order by what kind of column. Okay, specifics. Specify the order of the output. Okay, so suppose we have this table, watch very carefully. Staff, a number, maybe it's called staff, the table name is staff, staff number, first name, last name, position, sex, date of birth, salary, and branch number. Okay, so this is a simple example, a table with 6 rows and then 8 columns or 8 attributes. But it could be any number of attributes and then any number of rows, right? Hundreds of thousands and millions of rows too. So usually reports are something that you get so that you can understand it for a very specific purpose. You try to extract an output or report, and then make decisions out of that. So here is the I talked about the table. So select. You are only selecting these variables. Select these staff number, first name, last name, address, position, sex, date of birth, salary, branch number. Oh my goodness, everything. You are from the table staff. You are basically selecting everything. Okay. Interestingly, in SQLITE 3 or SQLITE, no worries about the uppercase, lowercase. It works. It is similar to Windows commands, right? CMD commands. Instead of writing all these variables one by one, you can just simply say star. Star means select star from staff means exactly the above statement. So the output will be exactly like this. But on the other hand, you can just select staff number, first name, last name, salary from staff. Then you are only talking about 4 columns or 4 attributes only. Then if you do that, the output will become like this. Okay. Now instead of selecting everything, all the rows, you can talk about only distinct rows. Okay, which means in this case, select distinct property number from viewing. Viewing is your table name. So there are multiple, either multiple PF14 or multiple PG4 or multiple PG36 valued rows under the variable, under the attribute property number. So from the table, viewing table. So then it becomes like this distinct. Okay, so maybe if you see the data, probably you'll know. But for now, let's just keep moving. So let's interpret this. Select staff number, first name, last name, position, salary from staff where salary is greater than 10,000. Okay, so that's why the output turned out to be like this. But the actual data is not just the 4 records. You already know that the records are this one. Okay, so this and these 2 records are less than 10,000. The SA9 and SL41 that did not come out in this output. Okay. So that's why you get here, because of this where condition is used. It is actually exactly same as in your SQLITE commands. Okay. The SQLITE is a very powerful, yet it's very, very simple. It is not even, doesn't even require a server. It works. So as an introduction, the department made this decision to introduce SQLITE. That's good enough to introduce all the complex concepts that are relevant for application of SQL in Python and in relation to a database engine. Okay, SQLITE is the database engine. So here is find all owners with the string Glasgow in their address. So in the address looks like this, but it's not the only Glasgow is there, but there are other things are also there. So when you have conditions like this, I want to find out all the records where the address has a subset of characters called Glasgow. Okay, then you can use where address like within quotes person Glasgow person. That means these are all wild characters. Any other characters can happen. That's what it means. It includes 6 Ashroy Street in the tail end G3290X, or on the other hand here it is 63 Well Street, comma space on the right side tail end it is G42. So it will ignore anywhere it finds Glasgow in the address, it will pick up, and that's exactly what happened. And the condition there is where address like person Glasgow person. Okay. All right. So let's we can also do aggregation. Right. Aggregation means count, sum, average, minimum, and maximum. And here is the way to do. Select count star as my count. So now I'm defining whatever the count output comes out, I'm putting it under the variable name my count. Okay. So count star, whatever the number of counts you get as the store it in the my count variable. From property for rent is the table name where the condition is rent is greater than 350. And it so happens, so we are only finding out all those records which have rent greater than 350 and find out the total number of such records in the table property for rent and name it as my count. And that's exactly what has happened. There are 5 records with this condition and it is under the name my count. We can also calculate minimum salary as min, max salary as my max, average salary as my average from the staff. Okay, table staff, but we are working on the salary variable. The salary variable is coming from staff, but then we are doing some aggregation. Select min as my min salary as my min, max salary as my max, average salary as my average from staff. And it just turns out to be these values. Minimum is 9,000. I think you remember when I went and shared with you, that the two of them are two 9,000 salary $9,000 salary people were dropped because we were asking for salary greater than 10,000. So it is minimum is 9,000, maximum is 30,000, average is 17,000 for all the people because there are no restrictions on the rows. We are selecting all the rows. There are no where condition. Okay, so that is the aggregation, and you can use group by class to get subtotals. So let's see one example here. Here it is. So select branch number from the table staff. Okay, select branch number, count staff number as my count, sum of the salary as my sum, and then group them by branch number, order by branch number. Okay, group by branch number and also order them. Okay, so that's what is the output. Here is there are because there is no where condition here, but the condition is only that we want to select only three variables: branch number, staff number, and salary. But then staff number is used for count, salary is used for total salary by branch. How much they are spending as salary, each of these branch. So if you look at it, branch number, my count is there are three people there. The total salary is 54,000, and then batch 5 B005 number 2 people are there. Total salary is 39,000. Branch number B007, there is one person there. Total salary is 9,000. That's what we get the output. So I kind of introduced and so let's go through one more example on having count staff number. Okay, and in this case having count where the count is the branches has more than one number, one staff. That's what this means. Having count staff number, having count of staff number is greater than 1. So select branch number, count staff number as my count, sum salary as my sum, from staff. Okay, table staff, group by branch number, having count greater than 1. So I'm not bringing as part of this report the branch that has only one number. Okay, so that's exactly what it is, having count greater than 1. So, that means basically we saw that before there was one branch which had one count, so that is dropped out. Okay. All right. So joining table also we should, I want to bring some quick reference there. So we will use the ANSI standard SQL specific different types of joining: inner, left outer, right outer, full outer, and cross. As a special case, we can also join as a self join with two tables can be joined. Table can be joined with itself. So we will go through one more time the join issues. I think there is more to it, but here is an example. So what we are saying is that you select star from employee, all the data from employee table, and join it with department. Okay, with the department table. So there must be keys that I should be able to use it, or variables attributes I should be able to use it, where they get equated. So that is called equi-join. Okay, that's the equi-join. So we are selecting all the observation from employee table, and we join that with the department table records. Okay, what is that? Where are we joining on? We are joining on employee.department ID. So we take the department ID in from employee, department ID from department. Wherever they are equal, those are the things that are getting output from the employee table. Okay, and when it outputs, it will have all the data coming from both the tables. Okay, the tables from employee, join, department. Now there is also another case. You can go into this SQLITE SQLITE.org. You can, I think this is something you've already done it, because I have given you SQLITE.exe in your file. So what that file is this. in the assignment, in the exercise 3. Okay, I'll show you. In the exercise 3, I asked you to download exercise 3 using data frame, SQL Alchemy. This one, exercise 3 files. Okay, that file, I'll share with you where I have it. Exercise 3 files. This is the unzipped one. Okay, I have a zipped one here. So if you look at it, I have given you the SQLITE already downloaded into it, but I also have given few other things, not this file. Okay, I'm going to delete this one. I kind of edited and then I don't need it now. xyz.db, xyzcust10.csv, xyz10.p. It's actually, I think I wrote it. No, let me go and check what it has. Okay, open it. Well, it has the pickle file also. Okay, p file, pickle file. But anyway, so it has a SQLITE 3.exe file is there, exercise 3.iPython notebook is there, and then xyz.db file, database file, and then xyz customer 10.csv file, xyz customer 10.pickle file. Okay, these are things in that one. Now, what I want to review now is go through the iPython notebook. Okay. So far, do you have any questions? Am I rushing, or do you feel that way? Please ask. Stop me now. It's the best time to ask me question, please. Click here to start sharing the screen. Okay, I'm good so far. Excellent. All but no questions. Okay, thank you, sir. Good. Okay, let's keep going. Now I want to share with you. I opened that file. We have talked about Anaconda, and you already done all those things, so I'm not going to go over that. But I can go. I can actually. The way I do is, I basically go into Anaconda. I have to delete some of these installations. I will do that. I just click on this Jupyter notebook, and it opens up something like this. Let me see. Yes, exercise 3. Okay, and then I say file. I can go and click on after Jupyter comes here. I will be having something like this. Okay, this is exactly not this one. This one. This is what I will have, and then I go to, in my case, I stored it here, Google Drive, MSDS 420, and then exercise 3 files. So I did a mistake. Joy. I don't mean that. Okay. So then I click on this one. This is what MSDS 420 exercise 3 files. I click on this, then this is the file that I get. Now, there are little issues here. That's why I wanted to speak with you. I'm sure, but when you submit, please make sure that you run all these things. So it should be running like 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. Okay. And then you run all these things. Make sure you understand all these things, because you never know. Exam question may be hidden here. So please go through every one of the lines. Okay. The developer lead faculty has put a lot of effort, thought into why he has to define these kinds of commands and these kinds of steps for you to learn and practice, or at least be familiar. Okay. So in this case, we import the OS, pickle, pandas as PD, NumPy as NP. From pandas, import data frame and series. Okay. I just checked what my file is, because I already opened this file, XS3, going into that particular folder, it knows my current working directory. So I just verified it, os.get current working directory. It turns out to be good. I just check everything all the time, and then I'm reading, because it is a current working directory, I don't have to put the path. So I simply say pd.read_csv. I read it into XYZ custom. I wanted to check it out, the data type. So just do this one, method dot, the object dot d types. It's all looking good. And then what is that? What is this object in XYZ custom? It is a pandas data frame. And then I just dump it, because if you whenever you stop the work with Python notebook, it doesn't mean that all the things that you developed until then is saved. So you have to pickle it, which means save the file, latest file that you have done. This is just a test, a small work, it's okay, but you need this practice as a general practice, okay? And then you have to use this parameter WB writing in binary, and then you can read back, okay? You can get back your file exactly, but then you'll say read binary, okay? Then we want to take a copy of it because I want to explain some delete issues and deep copy issues and so on. When you do a dot copy, the method or the object dot copy function or method, then it really copies deeply completely, which is different from if you don't put this copy. It doesn't mean that this object data object exists. It may be just referring to the same thing here. In fact, it will refer to the same thing. So in order to get a different copy of this data set, XYZ customer 10, I don't know, for some reason, it is written as read, don't worry about it, and then here it is written as revised, okay? So for some reason, if you want a copy, complete copy of it, which even if you delete this one, you can go back to this one, you have to use this kind of dot copy. By default, it makes a deep copy. Such copies are called deep copy, okay? But if you just don't do that, but if you do like this, then this will not be a new data set that is waiting, which is exactly the same like this, but a link is provided in the system background where this is just linked to this one in the link process rather than actually a data set sitting there with a different name. So please make sure that you use this. And then I just want to see what is the custom again. So we make copies and then some delete issues are coming. That's why we make copies, because when we look at it, we can check what are the columns are there. It turns out these are the columns 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 11 columns are there. But interestingly, there are zip9 supercode, zip9 underscore supercode uppercase, and this is a combination of lowercase and uppercase. And that is just same thing. We want to, if it is same thing, we want to so there are, if duplicates are there in the column wise, we want to identify and then remove it. And if there are duplicates are there on the row wise, we want to, under for some conditions, we want to remove them also. It's a very fundamental operation, so that's why there is quite a bit of steps are covered here. Okay, so here is an example of a command to check are there duplicates here. Okay, if they are not, if they are different, these values are different from this one, and count them and tell me how many are there. That's what, if they are different. Okay, and it says 0 records. So which basically means these two columns are same. Agree, everybody? And here is the printout of that particular column here. Everybody agrees what I said so far? I kind of every 10-15 minutes I take a pulse, okay, just to make sure you're all with me. I didn't lose the connection, so on. Okay, so there is a column there. Those two columns are same. We just now found. We can just simply say delete, or you can do this way also. But when you do this way, when you drop this way, in place it true. So you're kind of inserting it in the same place. So you kind of compress that, or replace in this, replace in that particular column, so it gets compressed. Again, I want to check that it's all happening within my folder. I'm kind of, get worried about all the time, where I'm working, and then we want to do the work with the SQL engine. Import SQL Alchemy, that's one we want to use. That's what helps us to work with the SQLITE. And then you define the engine to be create engine SQLITE : /XYZ.db. // refers to our current working directory. Okay. In this case, /1, or you can say any one of these things. Okay. So I use this one. So whenever I say engine, later on, see, for example, here I say pd.read SQL XYZ trans engine. It is referring to this one. Okay. So that's so the pandas knows how to connect to the right database and what it needs to pull out. It says pull out this particular table. Okay, this particular table. But there is a problem there in the problem means something that you have to be thinking very carefully. So let's define the engine here. From Alchemy import create engine created with this one, and then I'm just reading the XYZ trans from the xyz.db, this table XYZ trans, using the engine as SQLITE. That's what engine means, okay? You are instructing Panda to do that. And this is the command, okay? The method is read underscore SQL for the pandas, from the, in pandas, okay? So it will be a data frame because it's a pandas, okay? And the pandas is reading it from the database xyz.db, and it will read all the records, okay? So I just read that, and then I check, the data types. These are all looking good. Or I could have done, of course, instead of saying data types, I could have done the columns, and I get the same thing. It so happens that whatever the developer did it, there was only one table, but I have two tables. Okay, it just so happens. So I removed the first table. How did I do that? What I did was I'm going to exit this. Okay, so I went into the users, USS, Google Drive, MSDS 420 assignment 2 files, right? Assignment 2 files. That's where I have the SQLITE, right? So you say SQLITE 3 or SQLITE 3. I want to SQLITE 3 xyz.db. Okay. So I'm into the SQLITE right now, right? I'm into the xyz.db now. If you look at dot tables, it's a simple command you could have done, if you can do just say what are the tables I have. It says, wow, what's happening? Dot tables. What is going on? Why is that it didn't come through now? .ex here. Let's see. I have few files now, sales.db. I was just checking some, those two files I was talking about, these two files, load. I was checking all those things. So I created some additional DBs. I don't want to talk about that now. Oh, there is something going on here. XYZ DB is 0 records, it says 0. So there's an issue there, okay? So what I have to do is now I have to put the right, database here. There is nothing there. So I'm going to delete this and bring the correct one. Where do I have correct one? Don't worry, I have a copy of it. I can actually, I have a copy here also. Okay, I can, I downloaded it from, I can download it, I can take it from here, okay? This one, 2.4 megabytes, right? Let's see. If I have trouble, I know another one I have, I can bring it back, okay? So I want to keep it here because we are working here, right? So this one I want to, this is a written output. I don't want this. Exercise 3 file, that may be the issue. Okay. All right, so let me delete this because I worked on it before and I'm going to paste it here, the new one too. Oh, it is still 7 megabytes. I thought I copied 2 megabytes. Delete. Exercise for me. Okay. Let me go back and check that file. Here. I'm taking a copy of, it's not here, okay. This is the file because I just erased that one, right? Exercise 3 has the, okay, here. So I have here 2.4 megabyte. Oh, no. It is actually, compressed size is 2.4. It is 7, okay? So that's fine. So I'm going to take from this is the original file from the download, okay? You're all with me? All right, fine. Now I should be able to see, let's see now. Go back to that. Assignment 2 files. So I should not be in assignment 2 files. Exercise 3 files. Man, I should be in exercise. Assignment to exercise 3 files. Okay, so that was the problem. Okay, let me exit this one. And then I'm going to go and change size to 3 files. Okay, small letter, uppercase doesn't matter, so it worked out. Uppercase or lowercase doesn't matter. So now we'll look at the SQLITE XYZ DB. Let's see what are the tables. Excellent. Okay. So I have two tables there, XYZ cust and XYZ trans, but it so happens that XYZ cust should not be there. Okay. So I'm going to delete that. Okay. XYZ, drop that table. So I think there is a command. Drop table. I can do that. Drop table. Table if exists. What is the table I'm talking about? I don't want XYZ trans. XYZ cust. Because I'm going to load it later on. Okay, I'm going to do some deduping and all those things, and then I will do, and then save it into the XYZ DB. Is everybody understanding what I'm talking? Please respond. Yes, Jeff, thank you very much. I figured that one. Please tell me, everybody understand where the issues are, where I'm going? Please say yes or no. Okay. So I want to, you can keep that the previous version of the XYZ cust as it is and then replace it. Should make this, should we make the same change in our files for submission? You will actually, you will be, you can change, you follow what I'm doing right now, okay? That is better because, you can use as it is and then replace it with the, if exists equal to replace condition, which I do use it. But the point is, that file will not be correct file. Whatever you have in the file, XYZ cust you have is not a correct file. Do you get it, Jeff? So you have to follow what I said. Everybody understands? The file, current file, is not the correct file because it, I don't know, it may have duplicates and so on and so forth because we want to do some deduping and then only post it into it. Is everybody good? Sambit and Alfred as well as Samasa? Everybody good? Thank you. Because I think it's Masa, Sambit, and Albert Jeff. Okay, cool. Very nice. So let's go back to that. So I got the file correct. Now if you look at it dot tables, it will be only XYZ trans. See, that is what is here assumed because it says, what does it say? XYZ. When I read these things, when I read XYZ trans, XYZ trans equal to pd.read underscore SQL within quotes XYZ trans comma engine. XYZ trans is a data frame, that is fine. And then, columns I can check. But when I do the from alchemy import schema, okay, I will have only, now if I do this, I'll have only one table. Otherwise, it is going to mess around, okay? Because once you do that, you can check it out using this condition, metadata dot tables, okay? There you will see only one table, XYZ trans, there is nothing else is there, okay? The dictionary is this, XYZ trans is a key, and these are the values, okay, into that. So it's a dictionary type information. So up to this is fine. And then we want to dedupe it. That's what I was telling you, okay? We want to dedupe the XYZ customer 10 data file. You remember that? XYZ customer 10 data file is coming from the original CSV file, isn't it? So we want to dedupe that. So are there duplicates are there? I want to check, and then just there is a method is there duplicated. So and it says 292 records are duplicated. and then I want to remove that, and the remaining only I want to post it. So there are some checking issues are here. I check all the time because I don't remember. I don't believe that my steps are correct. The only way I know I can believe is verify the information. Okay, so I constantly verify this. That's what I'm doing here. I duplicate it, and then to add to that, there are some double negatives coming here and so on. So anyway, XYZ 10. So I took 2 copies, and then I create what is called XYZ cust undupe. That means deduped file. Okay, but in that one deduped file, is there any duplicated? No, there is. That is what it's undupe is, right? So if you check for duplicated, it won't be there. That's what it says, 0. But if you are actually finding the original file, this is a deep copy of the XYZ cust 10, right? This is a deep copy of the XYZ cust 10. Are there any duplicate according to the account number? Of course, there are 292. Okay. And another way of checking is this one. Okay. I can just say dot account number dot duplicated instead of saying this way. Selection of the variable inside. Instead of that, I can do it this way also using methods. So now after that is gone, how many records are there in the undupe? I just use the condition called the method shape 0, shape square bracket 0. That gives me the rows. And if I put a column for columns, guess what? For columns, it is now. If you want to know, find out how many columns of data that are there, it is dot shape 1. Okay. But anyway, just a little trick there. I just verify again that the data is there, cool looking, and then now I store that data. What is the data? This is the data. I store it. This is the data. Sorry. this is the data frame I have. I store it under the name XYZ cust. Engine is SQL engine. This is very, very important. You won't believe it took a lot of time for me. This you have to use chunk size. For me, I have to use chunk size. Some people said they don't have to use it, but for me, I use Windows 10, 64, Windows 10 Pro, and Anaconda with certain versions and so on. I needed to specify chunk size. If you don't do that, it will not work. Okay, so please be careful about that. Did it create the table? And then I verify again. Of course, I verify that by reading pd.read SQL table. This is now, where is this location, this table? Anybody? Anybody wants to say an answer there? Where is that location? The last line I read, please post the video after this session. Yeah, I will do that. I was asking a question here. Where do you think, I want to see how many of you are able to answer that. Where do you think this is coming from? This part of the output is coming from, you think? Type. Where is it? Where is the data now? There are a few places, right? In the XYZ DB. Excellent. In the XYZ DB. We posted it before to SQL. XYZ cust undupe. Undupe means all deduped records. To SQL is the method that helps us to post as table XYZ cust using the engine, SQL engine, chunk size 90, if X is equal to replace. You have to do that. If you do that, it is in the XYZ DB now. After this step, now if you go back and check using the command line, you will see 2 tables, right? You will see 2 tables. That includes XYZ cust. Okay, very, very important. And this one, it took time for me, that's why I'm telling you, you got to be very careful about these little things. Now, not only that, I am a verifier by nature. If I want to have a middle name verifier, I like Gardner, a better name, but once I start programming, gosh, I have to verify all the time. Okay, so 30. So it was originally, this is not the original size record numbers. Okay, the row numbers. This plus 292 was the original one. I probably have somewhere here how many rows are there. Otherwise, I should have done it. Oh, okay, here. See, 3471, isn't it? 3471. But here, how much is that after 292 is gone? It is 3179. You understand? If you add 292 to this one, it will come back to 3491. Okay. And then I verify again. Oh, here, I'm sorry, here. Okay, 3179. and then I verify again the head of this particular table coming from the database now, from the database side. Okay, so I'm able to post it, read it back. So I'm very comfortable now. I check, see what are the keys there, and then metadata engine. I'm just checking what is the XYZ metadata. These are all part of the codes that I have given you. And then I'm checking again, inspect, get table names. Again, I keep checking again, different ways. Please do that. That's a very important, good practice in programming, okay? Now, these are the few test things that now we asked you to construct. Now that's that you know how to do it. Actually, I'm pretty sure you know how to do it. I just want to give you these little details behind this exercise. Behind this exercise 3. Now, I want to go back to the assignment 2. Is everybody with me so far? Any questions? Jeff says, yep. Sambit, Masa, and Albert. Okay, good, Sambit. Masa and Albert says good. Masa, are you there? I think you're there too. Sorry. Yes, okay, cool. Now, so as exercise 3 is clean for you. You're all good, right? You can execute it, you can do it. Now let's go to the assignment 2, okay? In the assignment 2, let me go back. Assignment 2, I have to go to the, one moment, go to exercise. Okay. Let me go to assignment 2, which is due on 29th, okay? Exercise assignment 2, this is the one, right? So basically here, we want you to do hardcore SQL, constructions, okay? Hardcore SQL constructions. Still, it's all doable. It's well defined. The difficulty level is right amount to call it as a good assignment. And we have given you 2 SQL files, right? .SQL files, which are basically these are the .SQL files. So it tells you, the first file tells you this is the load file. First file tells you build file, right? So this is the build file. This is the build file. Please go through this. Did anybody try to go through this by any chance? Please respond to me. Anybody tried to go through the assignment? Not yet. I looked through it earlier. Okay, Jeff says, okay, nobody. Sambit, Masa, not yet. Okay, good. So this is beautiful. We give you a lot of codes to practice. Look at it. Don't just run it. Just submit it. The whole .SQL file. Okay. Don't submit it. It is a good idea to go through, type actually manually. Then you will understand. Okay. And you can see create table vendor. Vendor is the basically there are that because you saw this. This is still we are working with the same thing, right? This one. This is the ERD, right? We are still working with the same. Okay. So what is that? I wanted to tell you this one. So I encourage you to go through this. This means the comment, okay, in the SQL. SQLITE, it is common. This is don't worry about begin transaction. Okay, that's fine. This comment and then create table vendor. Now you are creating a table, right? And then V code is the variable name, and then it is integer, not null, and unique. V name is variable character, 35 characters, not null. So these are, you define the table and create the table, one after another, and then you can also check in between schema vendor, schema product, and so on, because those are the 2 things already done. So all these things I want you to practice. Okay, please do. Okay, don't undermine the importance of this. Every code practice and then make sure it is working. You might find some error here, something like this. You might find an error here. You might also find an error here, because here the product has to have all these values. Not just only 2 values, but not fill up the other ones. Okay, so it will give null errors. In this case, I want you to go through that error, but it's not a problem. And then you have to commit. You might get error also here sometime. It is possible, but don't worry about it, because later on you will see in the second load file it's all defined properly. because it has to start with a begin. Okay, it has to start with a begin. Then only it will work. The commit will work. Not only that, you have to go through the data update, which is insert, update, and delete process. Those steps have to be happening, and then only you can commit. Then that means it is stored. Okay. Otherwise, if you just do this without full operation of the database management operations of updates, update for me means which includes insert, update. I call it as database management operation. That is update, delete, insert. Okay. So I explained these two. This is useful for your assignment too. It's all there. You just have to go through, make sure every one of the line is, you are working with every one of the line and you are very satisfied. You are able to understand if there is an error, you can understand and explain whether it is a serious error or not, and whether it is stored or not, the data sets are stored or not. All those things you have to know. Okay. Now, any questions about explaining these two files, please? I explained two files for assignment 2. I haven't finished assignment 2 yet. I have to go back on the deliverables. This is only creating the data set. Any questions so far? Sambit, Masa, Jeff, Albert. Okay, cool. Not yet. Okay, I know that was a 4 minutes old information. Okay, not yet. Jeff says not yet. Please say yes or no because it is important. All right. Only Jeff said. Sambit said. Masa and Albert, please do. Thank you, sir. All right. Now, okay, thank you. So we are able to, you know how to construct the, how to construct, create tables, and then how to create indices, how to create keys, with the data, actually inserting data, specific data. Okay. Once all these things are done, beautiful. You have created your SQL table. That table is, I call it as sales 1. Okay, so that's why you see here sales 1, but follow what is being asked to name. You are being asked to follow very specifically to name something and so on and so forth. Okay, so follow those guidelines. I said here, you can see, sales1.SQL, sales.db. It has everything. Okay, it has everything. 64 kilobytes. Interesting. Only 64. This one I don't want it. Okay. All right. Application. All right. So so do that, and then now we are coming to the query. Okay, I'm going to come to the query now. Okay. Now these are the 7 things we want you to attend. Right? These are 7 things. Use the SQL ER listed below and the provided SQL scripts to construct its relational database and answer the following. Once you do that, write a query to count the number of invoices. You know how to count it, right? Select, count star. You don't have to say as some name. You can just put count star, or if you want, you can put a name also. Count star, and from table, what the table is invoice. Okay. And then write a query to count the number of customers from a customer with a customer balance. So you are going to having customer balance greater than $500, right? Having or where condition. You can say where condition. Actually, you can use where condition. But if customer balance is there in the database, let me go back. Check that here. Customer. Yeah, customer balance is there in the customer table. Okay. Customer balance is there in the customer table. I think I can go back and just recall my tables here. It is I get to go to the assignment. I'm going to do this. Dot exit. I'm going to start again fresh. Oh no, but I need to go to the different folder. Assignment 2. Is it called assignment 2? Just a moment. Assignment 2 files. Okay. In that I'm going to look at the sales DB, but don't I just put some name. Don't do that. You have to use the exact name, whatever the name that is being asked. Okay. SQL3 now. XYZ sales. Okay. Now I should have loaded the sales DB. Let's see what I mean. It is not completely done. I just tested some ideas. I want to show you. So let me see what are the tables here. Aha, good. So there is a customer table, invoice table, line table, P table. There are some repetitions happening there. So P table, product, vendor, B table, and vendor table. Okay. Now I can just check. What is that? Let's just check. Select or start from customer. Very simple. So these are the things, and we are talking about. It has the ID, customer ID. I think it's customer ID, right? Let me check that one. Oh, the schema. Schema should work, right? Schema. Okay. So customer says that customer code, customer first last name, initial area code for balance. The last but constraint is customer UI1 unique. Okay. Customer balance. So this is a customer balance. These are customer balance. Okay. These are customer balance. That is the balance is $00345.86 and so on. So we are saying where the condition is, so let me go back there, where the condition is greater than $500. So that's what the way you can use the where condition. Okay. Generate a listing of all purchases made by customer. So you just have to follow each one of these separately, write a query, and then get the output. Okay. That's why use the Salesco ERD listed below and the provided SQL scripts. The provided SQL scripts are these two types of SQL scripts. Okay. To construct its relational database and answer the following query. Is there anybody has any questions? Generate a listing of all purchases made by customer. Generate a listing of purchases, including the subtotals for each of the invoice line number. Okay. Each of the invoice line number. List the balance characteristics of the customers who have made purchases during the current invoice cycle. That is for the customers who appear in the invoice table. That's what definition. Okay. So if it is not there, it's not there. So no worries. So it's just a little bit distracting. Okay. No worries. Find a listing of customers who did not make purchases during the invoicing period. Okay. So these people are in the these people are in the customer list, but they are not in the invoice list. Are you with me? Right? And then finally create a query to produce a summary of the value of products currently in inventory. So currently in inventory is based on the QOH, the quantity on hand. Okay. The value of product is the quantity on hand by product name, by product number. Each product number, product code will have a certain amount of quantity of stock on the hand. Then their price times the price will give you the product value. Is everybody so far understanding what I'm talking? So, I explained the whole problem. I explained the whole process. You just have to think a little bit carefully to write the SQL after you load the data. Is everybody with me? Jeff says yes. Albert, Masa, and Sambit, please. Excellent. Albert says yes. Sambit says yes. And Masa says yes. Okay, cool. That is all we are expecting. Okay. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to send it to me. I will, respond to you. But I think I explained all the little, iffy situations. But don't hesitate to reach out to me. It's getting a little bit advanced. So far, the assignment one was much easier, but this is a little bit more work. But this is the crux of your database design and the usage. So, any questions? Any questions, please? If you no questions now, that is good. That's fine. For questions like number 3, okay. Jeff is asking for questions like number 3. He says generate a listing of all purchases made by customer. Yes. What do you want us to include? Yes. It says one minute. Let me see. Generate a listing of all purchases made by customers. Right. If you do all the variables, no harm. But if you do only, what will you select? important column, correct? Good point. But what are important columns? So sometimes, if you're not sure, just output, that's okay. But that's not the greatest, smartest answer. But if you know very clearly, what are the things you need, and if you don't miss them, that's great, right? All purchases made by, first of all, customer number should be there, and their purchases, right? All purchases. One customer may have multiple line items, okay? All purchases made. And then because the purchase involves number of line item, ID, description, how many units, what is the price of that, times the, the total value of that line item value, all those things are very useful, okay? And then you are saying, well, like customer balance has nothing to do with that question. Generate a listing of all purchases made. Yeah, that's a good point. Yes, you are right. You're right. I didn't include that also when I was saying, right? Yeah, understood. Good point. Anything else? Sambit, Masad, Albert. Okay, that's all I have for today. But I have explained the not only the process, also how various things are coming together for each of the submission. One is the exercise 3 on Friday, and the other one is assignment 2 on Sunday. There are a lot of things, moving parts are here. I just want to make sure you understand all these things. That's why I wanted you to come today, and I asked you to not to miss it. And thank you very much. 4 of you came in summer. 4 people coming is sometimes a big deal. But you guys did come, so thank you very much. That's great. Go for these two, the one of the exercises and the assignments, and I look forward to your submissions. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a nice rest of the evening. Bye-bye.